usually early.
That's unusual for me. All right, so
Okay, so we'll go ahead and call the Board of Canvassers meeting to order.
all right, so I sent out a notice of special meeting. The only thing I included on it was the canvass of the election, so we can't take any other action today. I've got about 3 different motions I'm going to need by the time we get done today. The first thing I want to do is review the post-election audit results. So I had an audit board come in last Thursday. Here are the totals on everything. And on the audit, we did a random selection of precincts. We only had the 2 races, one on the Democratic side, one on the Republican side. And when I did the random selection, I got Sheridan Democrat and Blue Mountain Republican. So when I set all this up, unofficial results, this is what my printout showed on election night for both parties. And then I had the audit board go through and hand count the ballots on those 2 elections. So their tally sheet and then their certificate of votes cast. And if you can see on here, they had 7 for Biden, 2 for none of the names shown. And that would be in the audit results. And that matches my machine results. On Republican, they had 56 for Trump, 2 for Haley, and 1 none of the names shown. And again, that matched my results. So I then signed off on that, sent it to the Secretary of State. Got this email back that said my audit is approved, I'm clear to canvass.
Okay.
So the first thing I would need would be a motion to, let's see how I got written. Approve the post-election audit results.
I move that we approve the post-election audit results.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve the post-election audit results. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
The next thing I have is we only had 6 provisional ballots. And I have 1 that I'm going to recommend that you do not approve, and this was someone who changed parties. So on a primary, you can go from unaffiliated to one of the parties, but you can't change between parties. And this person changed from, I believe it was Democrat to Republican, so I'm not allowed to count that ballot. I have 5 other ballots that were provisional. 3 of them were address changes, so those people that were already registered and had moved. 1 that was a name and address change, so that was one who a woman whose last name changed and she moved. So that one's good. And then I have 1 that was a poll worker error. And what it amounted to was it shouldn't have been a provisional ballot to begin with. They got confused and had them do an affiliation card, but then put it in a provisional envelope, and it could have just gone directly into the machine. So my recommendation would be to not count 1 provisional ballot and count the other 5. So if that is agreeable to you guys, I need a motion for that.
Make a motion, we count the 5 and not count the 1.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to count the 5 provisional ballots and not count the 1. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, so with that, we need to open the 5 that we're gonna count and run them through the machine, which I have set up and ready to go. You want me to just slice them open? That's all right with you guys.
I'll be
5 on the count. And then the one we're not counting, I won't ever open that envelope. It'll just get stored away with the election results unopened. However, I can use the information on the other side to update their voter record. And then if you notice on the machine, the public count says 0. So that shows us there's no ballots in it at the moment, so it's just gonna count as 5. I just need to run these in. Count 5.
Okay.
I need to shut this down, so print the reports. While we're doing that, we're gonna review the grand totals. Do an abstract with these results, cut out, and then we have you sign up on it. Close the poll. Just gonna let that report print, I don't have the results of those 5. So on this abstract, so these are my machine totals from election night. So if you guys can review the grand totals in that gray shaded column for Democratic,
You might have it very close up, those are very good.
Okay.
have Williamson 2, Palmer 2,
Yep.
Phillips 2,
Yep.
Biden 52, none of the names shown 14.
Correct.
On the Republican side, I have Trump 448, Haley 30, DeSantis 9, Baker 1, and none of the names shown 15.
Okay. That all matches.
Take much longer to print. So my results of those 5 ballots, I had 1 in Blue Mound for Donald Trump. I have 1 in Centerville for Donald Trump.
So do we need to update it on here?
If you want to, that'd be fine.
So just,
Well, let's see, so Blue Mound provisional.
Right
would be
there.
1, yeah,
okay,
and then Centerville provisional was 1.
okay,
And it should be North Potosi, I believe, for my others, wherever that print's on here. Find it. Scott. Harris. North Potosi, I have 3 for Donald Trump.
okay,
So I've got a total of 5 for Donald Trump. So that's gonna make that
453.
And I will update that sheet and print it and have Rose run it over so you guys can sign the one that's been updated. Let me get that update done. So it was 1 Blue Mound,
Correct.
1 Centerville,
Correct.
3 North Potosi, all for Donald Trump.
Yes.
And my sheet now shows 453 on his total. None of the other totals changed.
Okay.
And hopefully this works from across the street and I can just print that. Let me call over there and have them run that over to us. Okay, thank you. All right, Carla answered the phone and said she's on her way, so apparently it did print, she's bringing it. So then the only other thing I'm gonna need, and if she's on her way already, we can probably wait till she gets here, as I'll have you approve the election abstract with the results of the provisional ballots and adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Quickest, easiest canvas ever. My little recorder out and didn't turn it on. We're on that one though. I was actually home by 9 o'clock on election night. And I went to Casey's before I went home, so it's never that early.
Right.
But no write-ins helped that a lot because I didn't have to have write-in boards there, hand counting that part, and everything went pretty smooth once they came in that evening.
Once everybody come into the courthouse after they get.
Yeah, so like this machine I just printed those reports out of, it's sitting there waiting right now for me to tell it to go ahead and shut down because it did the report. Once it shuts down, there's a little USB stick in it that's an encrypted stick. It only works in machines that have had this election loaded on them for us. So they bring all their ballots and their poll book and everything in and bring that stick. And when they come in, we just take the stick, put it in our reporting computer, and then that's what prints out the results like that for me out of the reporting computer. So yeah, once they get in, we verify the number of ballots is correct with what they're reporting to me that they had when we put it in. Once they do, they're good to go. Thank you. Thanks. All right, so if you look at that now, I'm up to 453 for Trump.
Okay.
So it's, if you start at the top, 222, 52, 14.
Right.
453, 30, 9, 1, and 15.
Correct.
All right, so if you guys are satisfied with that, the 3 of you will sign the lines that say canvassers.
Do we need to make a motion to
And
approve?
yeah, what I've got ready is move to approve the election abstract with the results of the provisional ballots and adjourn the Board of Canvassers meeting.
That's my motion.
A second.
Moved and seconded to approve the abstract and adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.